How's it going, everybody? It has indeed been a while since I've been not only on the channel, but also in front of the camera. And you know what that means? It's time for Halloween Horror Nights construction season. We are in the beginning of August. Today is Sunday, August 3rd. And this is technically my first construction update video, which is kind of wild considering there's been a lot that's been happening in the park. But regardless, we're gonna go into the park, check out the construction that's happening right now, look at the scare zones, talk a little bit about the event as we know it right now, because we have all of our houses announced. We have all of our scare zones announced. We have all of our live entertainment, our street experiences, everything has been announced for Halloween Horror Nights 34. So we're gonna go into the park, talk about it. I'm gonna share my thoughts, my opinions, and just take you around my perspective of the scare zones, the current construction progress. I know there are a ton of construction update videos out there, so I wanna thank you for watching this one right here, because again, I know I'm not the only one talking about construction. But regardless, let's get right in there because it is hot, hot, hot out here, and I wanna go talk to HHN. So let's head in the park and get it started. So kicking things off, we're actually gonna pop down to the Hollywood street in which our scare zone here is being fleshed out. This looks to be the Masquerade Dance with Death scare zone, and we have these large gates structured outside just next to the Bourne Stuntacular. We have one on that side, and we have one right here. But just look at this structure. Like, I'm not really tall, but this thing is ginormous, and I love sort of the detailing on the wrought iron gates here. We have a little bit of like rust patina on there, on the actual metal structures, and then of course on the actual gate structure itself. But wow, this is just a great thing to walk into. I wonder if we're gonna get any more detail or if this is gonna be it when it comes to these gates, but I'm very, very impressed. And then from here, I guess we must start with this stage right here. As you can see, there's a lot of detail happening right here. We have candles up there. For a while, these were just kind of like structures. I thought it was going to be some sort of like lamp lighting, but as you can see, they have candlelight here, which is amazing. Candles all along the back, and then we have a raven stained glass. Each one of these has a different sort of a creature. We have a raven on this first one, so you can also see a little scare trigger right there. So probably, most likely, someone's going to be up here scaring us. I know I'm kind of late to a lot of these updates, but it's like my first time truly seeing it and absorbing it, and I'm just so impressed with what we're seeing with this scare zone already. And it's a great like first impression, even though there's stuff in the front of the park we'll talk about a little later. Moving right on over to the next stage on my right hand side, see the same sign, but also this one we have a cat or a panther or some sort of feline beast in the background. And I wanted to point out the sort of flooring here. So looking at the flooring, it is like a checkered tile, but this is like almost like more like a grip structure. So likely will be a little easier for the characters who are standing on the stage to not slip and fall, which is really great. We have another character trigger back there, but there is some like interesting clear, like translucent elements to the stained glass. We have like the whiskers, the teeth. That is really exciting. It makes me wonder what exactly we're gonna see as far as lighting goes for this right here. Moving over to stage number 3, we have a demon gargoyle back here. Now gargoyles are gonna play a pretty big role in this year's event and sort of the look and feel of it, but we also have a little trigger tucked away back there, which is cool. I wonder if the character's gonna be back there or if they just don't wanna roll the trigger out, especially because we do have this table with like a champagne flight right here. We have some glasses here. And finally, we make our way over to this stage, which is slightly different than the others. Now, this one looks more in line with the actual gates. We have another one down over the end there by Mel's. This one is a little different than the other ones. The other ones were more of like a wood finish. This one here has a bat back there, which makes me wonder, like, is this one gonna be the main stage because we do have vampires in this zone? Not too sure, but it makes me also think we could be going from the inside out. So like looking at those stages there, they all look like they're like inside of a house, like inside of a manor. Over here looks more like a balcony, which maybe means we could be going outside. Either way, this is really, really cool. And again, we have some of the same things all around. We don't have a trigger out on here quite yet, so I wonder if that's yet to come or if we're gonna see something else here. Not as character, but either way, really, really interesting. Loving how the zone is looking. And it would not be a Hollywood HHN update without a trip to the 5 and Dime. Let's pop in and see what kind of merch they have for sale, because they have quite a bit of event merch out already. Right off the bat, as you can see here, we do have a sign promoting Five Nights at Freddy's, which was the final house, or one of the final 2 houses announced for Halloween Horror Nights. Love this graphic here with Freddy and the TVs. Really like this artwork. I wonder if this is gonna be like the main artwork for Five Nights at Freddy's or if this is just for the preview shirt. And on the other side, we have a design for the Wyatt 6, the horrors of the Wyatt 6. Love this design. This is probably my favorite design out of all the ones they've revealed thus far for the preview merch. I'm really, really excited for this house right here. And right here, front and center, is Five Nights at Freddy's. We have the sort of framed piece here, as well as the stained glass piece for the completed stained glass portfolio with all 5, which is really great. And then the shirt, which, again, I love the shirt. I did buy the shirt because I got to celebrate this momentous occasion, but they seem to have the shirt kind of all around here. So they have it front, they have it back, seem to have smalls only right now, but also some extra smalls. But yeah, the shirt is kind of coming in and out, but great shirt, great design. It looks as if Lil Boo is back once again this year. We have keychains right here. I love this little print because you can make his eyes open and close. It's kind of hard to see here, but yeah, his eyes are opening and closing, which is fun. We also have some more apparel for Lil Boo. Kind of some variations of the same design with Lil Boo in the middle, the Hornets logo. We have the gargoyle up top, and then over here we have a kids version. Same sort of design, but on a smaller shirt. So if you like Lil Boo, this is the place to come for more Lil Boo stuff. Just like every year, we have more Lil Boo stuff. Magic Candle Company did a smell called Fall Hallows Eve, I believe. They used to have it here in the park. And this smell, this Realm of the Pumpkin candle, is exactly like it. So with that, I really love it. I don't really care for Lil Boo. I've said this before, but I do love the smell of this candle, so I might have to pick this up because the smell is just so good. It's literally the smell of Halloween. Also, when it comes to Lil Boo, we have these bags here, which has the little guy in like a plushie form. You can wear them on your back and put stuff in them. If these mugs do look familiar, they did have these at the tail end of last year, like really the end of the year, even after Hornets is over. It seems like they brought them back for the 2025 season. Really cool, although I do remember being able to get these in the discount store, so not too sure how I feel about them being back full price, but you know, if you like the mug, we got it here for you. We also have some more Lil Boo apparel. We have these pajama pants, which look to be selling out, but I love the feel of them and the look. I like the look of this year's Lil Boo merch, and especially like that they're going with the Realm of the Pumpkin, kind of as a nod to Wicked Growth. But the shirt, it's cool. I think it's a little thick for my liking, but definitely a fun time. Again, Lil Boo, it's not my thing, but it's someone's thing. They keep making merch for him every year. And we also have tons of Mel's merchandise as well. Right here, keychain with the cool, of course, the iconic sign we all love. We also have a pin here. It says we're dying to serve you with the exterior of Mel's outside. Moving over here, we have a cool sign with similar kind of design. The design is kind of same all across the board, but I love that this has like a mirror effect to it. Really, really neat. We do indeed have a decal set with some really cool like artwork they have here. I'm loving all these decals, and I like that this decal set is kind of smaller. A lot of times when they use decals, they're like really big, and it's hard to really do anything with them, but like this would be great for like a water bottle. I have a few of them on my water bottle already because I already did buy this. We also have this Mel's bag right here, which also looks pretty cool. Love the design on the front, like I said, with the stickers, and I like that it's kind of got this denim feel to it. Really, really nice. And probably the hottest item of them all, the Mel's t-shirt. I like this a lot better than the one they had last year. But it's a little gray. I'm not sure how I feel about the gray, but I like the design better. So you got to take what you can get. But I also like that it has the address of Universal. As far as old merch goes, we still have the Jason puzzle piece here, stained glass piece. Mug is still here, and then shirts are still here in the store, but they are mostly, looks like extra smalls. Yeah, pretty much for the most part, extra smalls. But if you were an extra small, you need a Jason shirt. Still got them here. As far as Terrifier is concerned, we still have the puzzle pieces, Bing, right here. And we have shirts all the way up into 3X. This one I think has the most sizes available as far as the shirts go. So shirt's still here, and then the bag is also still here for Terrifier. And they do seem to have all the Fallout stuff still. They have the shirt still, as well as the cup here. So all this is still available. Stained glass piece as well. And even the Never Grow Alone merch is still here. We have shirts, we have hats, we have candles, we have pretty much everything still in stock. So yeah, just coming out of the 5 and Dime, it seems like the only merch collection they don't have is the Wyatt 6 WWE stuff, which has been selling out pretty much since release, so I'm not shocked at all. Hopefully they get more in stock soon. Either way, I think there'll be more merch when we actually get the tribute store and all that stuff. Oh, Mel's, you are quite the item this year, with the Horde or Mel's Die-In Zombie Experience, likely in this area right here. We have lighting all up and around. Let's get up there. There we go. All up and around Mel's. So yeah, Mel's is going to be a hot spot. But then also we have the HHM bar, complete with a red truss. Now this has been here since Mardi Gras, but we have lighting up here. Tons of heavy-duty lighting rigs kind of set up around the HHM bar. And then not only do we have the HHM bar, but we also have a Lagoon show, which we'll talk about in a second. But lighting, lighting, lighting everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's lighting. Lighting here, lighting here. We have the TVs that seem to be wrapped up that we had last year, and I'm sure we'll get platforms here sooner rather than later. But yeah, HHM bar is coming back. Will it be better than last year? I don't know. I enjoyed it last year. I know it wasn't everybody's favorite, but you know, we'll take what we can get. And yes, this truss was not here for nothing. It does actually signal that the Lagoon Show will be returning. We will be entering right here, most likely, for a new Halloween Horror Nights themed Lagoon Show called Hauntophonik, a ghoulish journey, which I'm super stoked. I'm just excited to see something here. Also, there's music here, there, and everywhere. So I'm trying to get away from it. But Lagoon Show here, super, super stoked. Curious of how that's gonna impact the surrounding Central Park Scarezone, which we'll get to in a moment, but also the New York area, HHM Bar, Mel's, the Zone up in Hollywood. How's it all gonna be impacted? We'll have to wait and see, of course, but I don't really care. I'm excited to see a Lagoon Show come back, and hopefully this one doesn't get knocked out by a hurricane. Does it feel like Halloween yet? Well, if you haven't felt the Halloween vibes already, I bid you welcome to Crooked Lane, which we have here. Oh my God, like this looks excellent. We have a little cat face in the gate here, and then just props and props and props and props everywhere. Like, this is insane. Insane. I probably won't even be able to cover it all, just how much stuff is in this zone already. But we get the fall, the classic, the spooky. Feels like Trick or Treat, feels like Twisted Tradition. We get the classic HHM vibe. But also, we have the hint of the cats lurking around the zone, which is incredible. And of course, what would a great Halloween tale be without a little story? It says, deep in a forest on Halloween night, the trick-or-treaters follow moonlight. The naughty children that dare to explore that old crooked lane along the forest floor. Cat eyes and pumpkins line the dim trail to the cat lady's house, so withered and frail. We have this incredible artwork here of all the kids running around. Hopefully, what we'll see in the zone, basically, leading up to the house, which we actually do get to see at the end of the street. You have to go through the end of the street to get to the house. I cannot talk about this zone without talking about the wonderful sight above me. Pumpkins in the trees once again, after many, many years of missing it since Twisted Tradition. Like, all around, they're everywhere. And it's such a beautiful sight. But we have our next storybook piece. Here says the cat lady of Crooked Lane stands on her stoop, stirring her cauldron of special soup. She's not a witch, the children all say. As she pets her cats of orange, black, and gray, she lifts her ladle and offers a taste. They drink it all down, and not a drop goes to waste. And you got her right there feeding one of the children, which, again, just like the artwork, the story, it's insane. And then once you turn this corner, you just have tons of just clothes and discarded props just sitting around, all kinds of stuff. Yarn is being like wrapped up around everything here. Got like the fall vibes. It's incredible. I can't say much about this Scarezone that hasn't already been said, but like this Scarezone's already looking like the best one this year. It's already looking like the one with the most personality. We have a yarn ball right here. We have yarn up in the trees. I know there's like, it's hard to see, but like a milk bottle hanging there. Just like, wow. Wow, man. Like, I'm just so stoked for this zone. I know everybody else is too, but like, come on. I'm someone who loves classic Halloween. HN 31 was my first year, and this Scarezone feels like right at home with that vibe. And it's a unique vibe for the conservatory. It doesn't really feel like the conservatory, but I think it'll tie in pretty well. The potion sets in, turning hands into claws, and long feline teeth protrude from their jaws. The children all scream as they become beasts and now hunt their friends to add to the feast. The moral of the story, and it should be plain, never trust Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. And yeah, I wouldn't trust her either. She looks kind of suspicious. And then what awaits at the end of the street but a mini maze and the house. I'm gonna go up to the house real quick because this is brand new to me. I have not seen this yet. And wow, just the scale of this thing is incredible. And it like looks just like the book. And we have a roof starting to be formed. Not fully complete yet. I'm sure in the next couple days we'll see that, because it is Sunday. Not really working a whole lot today. Not a lot of new stuff happening, but we got windows, we got a roof, we got a front porch, which if we're going based off the picture, we're gonna have like a cauldron right here, and she's gonna open the door, come out and greet us, maybe for a little show, or maybe just to scare us. But like, man, this is just something special right here. But let us not forget about the mini maze that seems to be happening here. We have stained glass broken all along the top here, all along the top of these little structures. And then we have a stained glass of a cat here. And more details around the corner. We have like a little scratching post. This ball was up here the other day, but now it's gone. Now it's down here. It's not gone, but still there. We have a little mouse down there. And the most disgusting prop I've ever seen, a human-sized hairball, which, yeah. But as we go inside, we have yarn all up there. And then we have lighting, boo holes, scratches, like we have the scratching post, but then we also have cat scratches on the wall. Nice little touch. But we have boo holes all around, lighting, speakers. So this really does feel like a mini walkthrough, like a mini house walkthrough. And I'm just like so stoked for that. I'm worried a little bit. I know some people have pointed out the kind of mechanics of having the trees here and people bumping in, or people like standing around this area, but I don't care. I'm just excited to see how this works and how this goes. And yeah, what a Scarezone, man. Also making our way through animal actors. This area used to just be a seating area, but now it is cleared out. There are strollers here, but it's cleared out. No more tables, likely for a food booth. And those should be coming here really soon, I feel like. We haven't seen food booths, anything pop up yet, but usually those come up in like the next couple weeks. I'm just stoked for like the cat lady zone, like just walking through that zone. I know I've said it a bunch of times how amazing that zone looks. Scarezones really do feel like they're back this year. Hopefully it turns out well. Hopefully the cats aren't too creepy. Like a good creepy, yes, but not a weird creepy. I know this is really the subject of conversation right now in a way that would only make sense for HHN, but this bridge obviously is under construction. It looks like they're making progress with this. So hopefully they get this fixed for HHM because this is clutch during the event. You don't want to have to circle all the way around behind Nightmare Fuel, Sprung Tents, and all the crazy crowds over there. If you want to get from Diagon Alley to this house back here, or anything in this sort of back area of the park past Simpsons, you're going to want to use this bridge. And seems like it is under renovation, which, you know, a lot of people I feel like are talking about this and Rocket when it comes to like renovation and saying, oh, well, why are they doing this now? Well, if not now, then when? You know, eventually it's going to happen. And I think they're waiting for Epic to open to start all this new stuff, basically. So it's always good to have new stuff, new infrastructure, and hopefully it's done in time for HHN. All right, so right here we have our double doors and most likely the trusses that will hold the entrance sign to our 200 houses, which have been basically confirmed to be Fallout and Gulkin, which can't wait. I'll be back there a lot this year. But we also have Nightmare Fuel, confirmed to be Nightmare Fuel Circus of Decay. They do have it blocked off there, but Nightmare Fuel is back, of course. Circus of Decay. Looks like we're going back to the circus for the show, which I would have preferred something a little different, but you know, it's Nightmare Fuel. Seems like they do things in trilogies, so maybe eventually they'll do another story, maybe wrapping this one up next year, 35, with a certain clown, I don't know. But yeah, this little area back here was perfect, primo, for Stay and Scream. And I guess now it's time to talk about Stay and Scream this year. So yes, Stay and Scream seems to be changing a little bit this year. Now, this is not officially per Universal. They have not come out with like a statement about this, but we do have this little bit of information sent out to travel agents. Wristband distribution at 3 p.m. at Lombard's, VillainCon, and Minion Cafe. Kind of like our normal spots, because Lombard's was for Stay and Scream back here, Minion Cafe was for New York, and then VillainCon is new. But wristband pickup, and then haunted house queues open at 4. And then some of the haunted houses will obviously open at their regular times, but it seems like you can kind of roam around the park, which is kind of cool. I know Stay and Scream last year was kind of messy because New York was so popular with those IPs, and the back of the park was pretty much empty for that reason, which I loved. It was amazing, but you know, we'll have to see. Also, I am hanging out in front of London, and I guess I got to talk about the fact that Death Eaters are back, confirmed. It's on the website. Death Eaters have returned. There are props around Diagon Alley. Same props as we saw last year. Nothing too crazy. That's why I'm not like jumping in there to show you guys. And plus, I'm kind of on a time crunch today. If you haven't done the Death Eater experience, I definitely recommend it if you're a Harry Potter fan. If you're not a fan, I'd say do the Scarezones, do the other houses. But that is another experience happening at this year's event. And I guess one more little bit of information that we must talk about before we get into some more updates. And I'm heading back to Lombard's for this, but it does seem like our Unmasking the Horror Tour lineups have been revealed. The 3-house tour will be Grave of Flesh, Dolls Let's Play Dead, and then Hatchet and Chains Demon Bounty Hunters, leaving the 6-house tour with Jason Universe, Fallout, Terrifier, WWE Presents the Horrors of the Wyatt 6, Gulkin, Monsters of the North, and El Artista, a Spanish haunting. I'm someone who loves the Unmasking the Horror tour. I already booked my 3-house tour, one of the early tours, I believe that first day of it happening, so I will do a video on that tour, showing off some of the details, the Easter eggs for those who want to see the house a little early. But I'm also planning to do the 6-house tour again. I didn't do any tours last year, and I really regretted it because of like Ghostbusters and Insidious and stuff being on the tour. So this year, I'm not missing out on a Fallout tour, y'all. I want to see Fallout with the lights on. It does not seem like Five Nights at Freddy's will be on a tour this year, unfortunately, but I can kind of get it with the animatronics, also the licensing and everything like that. Unmasking, if you haven't done it, I'm always going to recommend it. It is a little bit expensive, but if you like Halloween Horror Nights, if you like the set design, the magic behind the scares, definitely worth checking out an Unmasking the Horror tour. Now it is time for more updates. Let's journey into the area, most likely set the house Club Horror, which is one of our 2 street experiences, alongside the Mel Zombies, and we have tons of lighting up here. And we still have kind of the Coke displays, which are remnants of the Jaws experience they had here, the 50th anniversary experience. But it seems like we have stage here, tons of lighting, probably where our undead DJ is gonna go. We're also gonna have some original characters coming for this zone. So really interested in Club Horror. I won't say that I'm like super stoked for it, but I am curious. We'll see when we get to the hype list, but I hope we get some more props. That's what I will say. I hope we get some more props for Club Horror, because if that's all we get, I don't know how I feel. All right, and you might be able to hear the beat builders behind me. That means we're entering New York, and in New York, there is absolutely nothing. We have seen nothing before the all but confirmed in this location Mutation Toxic 20 Scarezone, which I'm really stoked for, except this truss. This is it. So take a look at it. And this might not even be for Mutations. This might even be for the Sting Alley edition. Maybe a food booth. We've gotten food booths here in the past. Maybe Fallout to continue the apocalypse theme, but gotta talk about this. The talk of the town, the Palace Arcade is no longer an arcade. You can even see like the like dirt set in from the sign, but Palace Arcade is no longer an arcade. And it is supposedly the location of this year's tribute store. And one more update for this area. The Transformers Extended Queue has been lit up, meaning probably gonna get our bar here very, very soon for whatever the bar is here, probably another fancy bar, but we have lighting. Queue's still kind of open, we can still use it. They haven't put the bar in yet, but very soon I think we'll be installing that new food booth bar location. And finally, to wrap things up in the most unexpected area for props, we have stuff here in Avenue of the Stars, Minion Land. We have a stage here for the Origin of Horror Scarezone. I'm guessing one of our IP statues are gonna go right here, but oh my God, y'all. Like, I know, again, people have talked about this, but like, look at all these set pieces. Like, look right here, y'all. We have these trees here. We have the stained glass with the flowers, maybe hinting at like a codename Easter egg. But like, look at all this. We have another altar here. This is on the side by VillainCon. And then over here, we have the exact same thing on the other side. So we have 1 down there, 2, 3. We have 5 IPs. Looks like we have another one right down here over near the front of Mini Mayhem. So, oh my God, like this just looks so great. I'm just happy to see a Scarezone here again, y'all. Like, Quality of Fear, not so great, but you know, I thought Oddfellow was a cool zone, but like this, that, oh man, I'm so stoked, man. This event, we have under a month, y'all. Also right here, we have some stages, which I'm guessing will have some of our characters. We do have confirmed that the crows will be making our way over here, as well as some gargoyles, so I'm sure we'll have some over here. We had one back there, but we also have one over here by the store, and just like, wow, man. The only thing missing is the sign, which I'm sure will be here sooner than we think, but I can't wait for this event, can't wait for the Scarezone, do not climb, but yeah, what a phenomenal looking zone. I'm really hyped for these zones and want to know what you think. Are you excited for the Scarezones, for the houses this year? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. It kind of wraps up this update here because it's hot. But with that being said, I'm so stoked for this year's event. I want to do more of these construction videos because I had a lot of fun filming on the Osmo here and like just filming this video in general. So if you liked it and you like videos like this about Halloween Horror Nights of the past, present, future, updates, analysis, history, lore, all that kind of stuff, be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. I'll of course see you in the next one. Be sure to stay spooky and take care, everybody.